This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, make sure you smash that hype button. Let's get right into it. Well, Keefe D was denied his request. He keeps making these requests to post bail ahead of the Tupac trial. You're not getting out, bro. You're going to go to jail. You wrote a book about this whole experience. You cooked yourself. This was probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You gave him a step-by-step booklet for you to get to arrest you. It's stupid. I've never seen anything like this, man. Keefe D fried himself. When he was doing the Vlad interviews, I was like, how is this guy still out? How is this guy still out? This is the one person they could arrest and sum this up, give some people some closure on the Tupac thing. Now, Suge Knight originally said he wasn't going to testify against Keefe D. But I'm seeing him on a list now, so I don't know if he's going to be up there just to, like, describe what happened that night, or is he going to, like, say, yo, I saw Keefe D in the car, you know? Maybe he changed his mind 3 years later, like, you know what? He should rot in jail with me. Because Keefe D talked kind of spicy about him, you know what I mean? We'll see. Well, Drake, all right, so this whole thing with Drakeo the Ruler, his in YG saying alerting the B team, which is basically indicting himself, let's be real, because he's confirming that he's the head of the B team, which is the Bloods, all right? And the cops, according to Poetic Flacco, the cops refer to the B team when they call them the Bloods, so that would be cooking yourself. Another person not too bright here. YG, there's concrete evidence about a timeline that him and Drakeo had beef. He was scared to perform because Drakeo was out. Drakeo was taking his spot. And he wanted to do something about it. Drakeo was talking spicy about him, and he wanted to do something about it, right? So that night, they made their move. They, meaning anybody that didn't like Drakeo the Ruler. Now, supposedly, a lot of people are coming forward and say YG brandished a knife and was in the mix. And the cops love to hear that because they love to take a rapper down. Glasses Malone is trying to paint a narrative that Drake is paying bloggers to talk about this because he hates YG. Bro, that's kind of far-fetched. If anything, he would be doing this to Kendrick Lamar. YG wasn't even personal. Like, when he jumped on a track with Drakeo the Ruler, YG got in his feelings, went to the pop-out for Kendrick Lamar, and also dropped a song called Weirdo to show he's aligned with Kendrick Lamar, even though Kendrick Lamar doesn't really help YG all that much. He's more like Glasses Malone's friend, and Glasses Malone hates Drake, right? So he made this narrative claiming civil cases could ultimately help build a criminal case. But I'm going to tell you that this civil case is really against Live Nation. It doesn't even involve YG. It's involving the safety of the event. How could Drake be involved in this? Someone said, I just had to say that Drake had been taking care of the family and stuff. He said during a live stream, I know these guys getting delusional, bro, but this is getting crazy. I don't know, man. You know, YG, I feel like it's just going to go down for this. Like, you know, this is what happens when you rap about being a blood and a gangster and this and that, and then someone dies that you had beef with. It eventually comes back to you, especially if you got people talking and saying you did this and that. 50 Cent pokes fun at Rick Ross concert being empty in Detroit, Michigan. Now, I don't know if this is like a second Rick Ross concert. This is getting released now, but to my knowledge, Rick Ross performed in Detroit 2 weeks ago. I don't believe he filled the stadium. Or whatever it was, you know, I don't think it was a stadium at all. Whatever it was, like a little venue. I believe Rick Ross is taking a loss on these concerts anyways, because it's a lot going on. There's, there's an orchestra. He has to fly out private because he's flying private and all this other stuff. So I don't know. But 50 Cent says, damn, never saw it this bad before. Better focus on them wings. I don't see how people wouldn't go to a Rick Ross show. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey. We'll get to Rick Ross in a second. Now, this hot dog incident with Clipse, Malice from the Clipse. This woman said that he went in there to get a hot dog in Chicago and he didn't pay for it. Well, he responded to it and actually showed footage of her saying that it's on her. Like, don't worry about it. Like, she got it. So the security guard went in there to pay for it, and she said, don't worry about it. I got it. Okay. She was calling him Flava Flav and everything in the beginning. Like, she recognized he was somebody. And then she made this video. I think she was expecting a tip. And the security should have known. You got to tip somebody. If they're trying to give you something for free. Just, they wanted it in their tip jar instead. Like, yo, I got you, but put it in the tip jar for me and my, the people that work for me. Well, he said this.
Let me tell y'all, I ain't gonna tell no lie.
Now, we done been all over the world, touring. And every day we've been saying how good it's been, how easy it's been, how steady it's been. No problems. And the day before yesterday, I'm gonna decide to steal me a hot dog.
The motherfucking mouth.
They said you got a cheat meal. You can't do cheat meals, he says. He wouldn't steal a hot dog. It sounds ridiculous. What I don't get is these guys are touring, right? So, yeah, the Clipse are touring. They're taking private jets. They got black cars lined up. They don't draw that big of an audience. It doesn't make sense to take $50,000 private jets to each venue. Is that how they're moving? How are they even pocketing any money? They got security, all this stuff. Like, how are you pocketing any money? How much could they possibly getting paid per night show? And, do the math. They could only be getting like, think about it, it's the Clipse, bro. Like maybe 60 grand, 100 grand tops. But if you're spending 60 on moving around each time, each leg, you're barely making anything. I don't get these rappers sometimes. Like, gotta fly private? Come on, man. Private's for like billionaires, for real. Like, if you're not a billionaire, if you don't have at least $200 million in the bank, at least, it doesn't even make sense to constantly fly private. I can see once in a blue moon if you got 50 million or you got 20 million, you once in a blue moon. But come on. Rick Ross shuts down low wheat for sales. Now, he did this yesterday, but he put out another video today. This is the first video. He's like, yo, we really sold 20, and then we sold 20 next week. And when your sales go down, it means anybody knows. This is how it goes. Say your first week's 100. If you do 50 or less, it was usually fake. The first week was faked a little bit, right? Usually go down by half, and then for that. Rick, you don't really stay steady unless, like, you're a new artist and more people are finding out about you. People know about Rick Ross. He did a huge rollout for this album. He sold 17 the first week. I'm not shocked on that because I know with him and Meek Mill, they sold 32 the first week, right? And they had better songs on there, like more songs that would get you hype, So then... Hold on. So basically, he's saying he does a whole breakdown of this, like he can't stand it, bro. He has to like really drive.
As I said on my story yesterday, 22,000 the first week, 20 the second week. Those drastic fall-offs, guys, that you see with a lot of those other artists is when the numbers are inflated. The bots. To me, the new flex is no bots. Keep it genuine, keep it pure. Let the music fight any battles. You understand? Come on now. This the biggest boss. I'm letting niggas know. Do the long game, baby. That's how we hustling. That's how we winning. We here 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? Those G-Unit sneakers gonna be in Costco, baby. I like the Lloyd Banks ones better than all the other ones. Them other niggas ain't even got no sneakers.
I don't even know why he's bringing up Lloyd Banks. Lloyd Banks hasn't been part of G-Unit for a long time. And Lloyd Banks even said, I don't need to be bothered. I'd be minding my business. I'd be minding my business. He put out something the other day. Now I know what he was talking about. He's tired of this whole thing with like Rick Ross throwing his name in just to like get some clicks. Rick Ross is insecure because he knows he can't sell. He shouldn't be insecure. He has a bunch of other businesses going on, but he knows it's over for music.
With 50, give Lloyd Banks his own high top sneaker. And since the Shreveport shit ain't happening no more, you know what I'm saying? You can focus on the sneakers. And for example, if those numbers not inflated, why can't these same people with all these followers sell other products outside of the music? Why their sneakers can't sell? Why their alcohol can't sell? Why this can't sell? Nigga, if you genuinely gotten a gazillion people that could do this with your music the first week, why everything else you do outside of music is unsuccessful? Now, the new flex is no bots. You the boat, nigga. That's what Ricky Rose is. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? As I said on my story yesterday, 22,000 the first week, 20 to...
Please, bro. Lies. This guy can't even, like, he's so insecure. He has to be like, no, really, this is it for the sales and this and that. The shows aren't selling. I don't know what happened. People were just done with Rick Ross, I guess. I don't know, bro. Like, he keeps trying to compete with 50 Cent, and there's no comparison. You know, I'm not saying 50 Cent's like the be-all, end-all of everything, but he did just come off like $100 and something million tour, sold-out tour. Like, come on. You know, it's like, bro, you can't do that. You can't sell out a world tour. You can't. So you can't really compete with this. So Rick Ross is just talking out the side of his mouth. DDG. Okay, so DDG's out here trying to hire a cameraman, and his old cameraman came out and spoke out and said, hey, I can't work for this guy. You know, you don't have no life. You can't take care of your own personal stuff. He wants you to be on call 24/7, and he only wants to pay $3,000 per month. I said, wow. $3,000 in LA. And he wants you to have your own car and all this other stuff. Well, after you're around DDG all the time, right? You pay your rent. You can't even really pay for your car anymore or your insurance because LA rent is different. And you got to live near him. You need at least 10 grand a month, okay, to be on call like that. At least 10 grand a month. And if DDG's making $100,000 a month off streaming, or say he's making $150, he claims to make $200 sometimes, right? So say you're making that. You can't pay this man $20,000 a month to be on call. Most people will be on call for 15 to 20 grand a month. Talking about giving everything up. 15 to 20 grand, and then you obviously you have to fly everybody around. That's just part of the gig. DDG's cheap. He might be the cheapest streamer in the game. Might be the cheapest streamer. The Clippers are making more. Clippers are making more than that? Come on. Suge Knight among witnesses listed. We already went over that. And I think Young Thug really disrespected Quavo here by trying to say for him to sign to YSL. Like, why would Quavo sign up under Young Thug? He came out before Young Thug. Is he a bigger artist than Young Thug? I have no idea. I have no idea. I may possibly. Nah, Young Thug has more monthly listeners. But if you put Quavo and then the Migos mixed in with it, then nah, like they're bigger, you know? They had more hit records to me. But Young Thug is trying to like unify everybody. Why would you sign to Young Thug anyways? He's a work with the police, man. Like you can't sign a Young Thug. Hey, Young Thug worked with the police and then pointed the finger at his own artist, who he got involved in a RICO, and said, "Yo, you took a plea deal. Your own brother took a plea deal, and your brother's back in jail already." Like, stop. Young Thug's too much sometimes, bro. You just sign with us, leave Capital and sign with us. Well, Young Thug doesn't have his own straight up deal. He's going through somebody else. Let's just be real, bro. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.